Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Butter What Show. I'm Pat Regan. I'm joined here with my lovely co-host. He's been lovely 4 times tonight now, Brian C. Moses. And we have a 3D printing topic to talk to you about, Tubby. This is the Tubby. Well, you in YouTube land, you are not Tubby. Brian is Tubby, obviously. But we have this $3 BL Touch Killer from, I should know who it is, Tubby. Design Prototype Test is the name of this gentleman's YouTube channel. Do you know what this is?
I do not. Can you tell me about it?
I sure can, Tubby. Now, on me and you have Prusa Mark III printers, 3S, whatever they are. And they use a magnetic Pinda probe. Induction? I don't know what it is. It's magic. It doesn't make contact with the bed to see how far away the bed is. It gets close and it triggers a sensor. It says, oh yeah, I'm this close to the bed, and then it pokes around to 49 places and says, this is the shape of your bed. The cool thing about your new printer that you didn't buy yet, the Prusa XL, is that instead of guessing how far, our printer doesn't know how far away the PEI is. You have to tell it how far the PEI is from the steel plate underneath. That's kind of what you have to calibrate.
Yeah.
But your Prusa XL that's going to physically touch that plate, and the BL Touch probe that everybody uses on their Ender 3, they actually know where the plate is. It could be made out of plywood, cheese, pizza, anything, and it would find those points, which is kind of cool. It gives you some extra options. Like, you're not going to goof it up if you put a layer of, 3 layers of painter's tape on there to print TPU or something, where it's going to goof up your layer height. But what this gentleman has done, instead of buying a $60 or $80 BL Touch probe, and I hear you have to buy the genuine ones. The knockoffs are iffy.
Dicey.
Yeah. He's done this, and I think he used the Allen key that came with the Ender 3 as a physical probe. He's using that with an arcade-style push button, the switch that hides inside an arcade button. It goes over, and it touches that thing to drop the Allen key down. And you can see it touches the bed and then goes back. He's only doing it. He's not probing the whole bed. He was just checking the Z height. And then it goes back and here he is. It goes back and that little protuberance on the side of the printer, lodges it back up into place. He's about to do a real bed level here.
So it knows what does it know? The length of the Allen key and the throw of the switch? And it's doing...
Like what you have to know, how you calibrate in the Prusa, you tell it what the offset is?
Yeah.
The Ender 3's firmware will have a similar number like that offset that you're going to calibrate. So you have to calibrate that once, but even if you put a 1-inch thick piece of... Maybe it wouldn't go that far, but...
Yeah.
If you put a 2x4 down on your bed, it would find the top of that 2x4. Not that you're ever going to want to find the top of a 2x4, Tubby. That wouldn't even... Oh, he's showing you a wavy bed. I could tell, even without the audio, that was what he was doing. And I thought I was close. Here it goes. He's just doing a 9-point bed leveling. And then he does a print to show you that it is indeed, it did do the work. He's proving that it actually works. And I believe him. This makes total sense that this should work. Now, I'm not giving up my Pinda probe. I don't know about you, Tubby, but the Pinda probe is susceptible to heat. If your office gets below a certain temperature, it gets out of calibration, and you're not going to get a good first layer out of a Pinda probe. And the poor guy, he's showing you there's a poorly printed part there because he has a gouge in his bed.
What's the breakdown on the materials? What's the $3? Where's the $3 come from?
I think it's entirely in the little switch. My little
3D
switch,
printed.
because you probably have to buy a 10-pack of them.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, here's the little switches. 59 cents. Oh no, maybe that's a switch. It's tough to tell because I don't have them on. I have them on mute here.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to 3D print the little jig
bracket
that holds it.
Yeah.
And you have to run some wire, and you have to print that little doodad on the side. But I think it's genius that he actuates the thing with G-code that moves the print head all the way over and bounces it up off of the...
Yeah.
That's absolutely genius. If you don't have auto bed leveling yet, and you're too cheap to buy a BL Touch, you might want to check this out. This might be your speed. Everybody should have auto bed leveling. It's fantastic.
Yes.
It's my favorite upgrade since getting the Prusa Mark III. And technically, we don't have to be doing the 49-point bed leveling on every print. You could do, there's some way to save that, and then you could be just doing a single point.
Oh, okay.
You know, because the whole bed is going to be this shape, right? And you just have to know if it's where that shape is on the z-axis. You know, it's always going to be high on the same corner every time.
I made mine mad once. I had it, the two little pegs at the back of the build plate.
Yeah.
The build plate squeezes around. I had it offset a little bit, and it was up on one of the pegs. It actually started printing though. I mean,
wow!
It was.
I'm surprised.
I mean, it was. I'm exaggerating, but it. I mean, it was. It made a funny noise.
Do you know what I've done, Tubby?
What have you done?
You run a print, and if it's not a tall print especially, you run a print, it finishes, you're right there ready to take it, and you pull the PEI right off, and, you know, you start, you know, jimmying around, shaking it, getting your parts off, and then you put the plate back on. But what happened in the time that you were doing that is a little bit of filament oozed off of the print head onto the, you know, the heated bed, and then I put the PEI right on top of that.
Oh, and
a little bump in there.
A little bit of,
yeah, and that goofed up my. I mean, I was only doing the 9-point bed leveling at the time, and you know, not a good first layer on the next print. It was not.
I can imagine.